and a wolf.
Up here in the top right in the red, 4-team Acer.
Acer MMA.
Very stoic.
Yeah, I've got to be stressed out here. Playing against our most recent and relevant GSL champion, a Royal Rotor. He is
KT Roaster Zest.
Always with such a fierce look on his face.
This guy's a killer.
He doesn't take any prisoners, man. He just goes in and kills everybody. He doesn't care.
He will kill you slowly. He will kill you quickly. Rate his hair. Zoom out. Oh, definitely an 8 out of 10. Very nice. You've got that.
Nice work there. You got the approval of Wolf on this one.
You've got that look of, you know, I'm going to keep it short enough, but it's not short. It's not a short haircut style. Fits your face very well. I give you an 8 out of 10. Wearing it well.
Wearing that hair hat quite well.
Yeah. Well, Brennan, it looks to be a command center first. By the way, important to note here, like, neither of these players are very familiar with this map.
Yeah, that's actually true. They both have to practice for this tournament and this tournament alone to get ready for this map. Unfortunately for MMA, you know, I like this idea to try to get ahead economically, try to be a little bit greedy here, but already Zest with a very early scout knows that MMA could go for something like this.
Oh my god, one more tap would have killed him.
Yeah, that was very close.
Pretty greedy by MMA, but you know, I mean, he gets the command center built pretty fast. Anyways, continue with what you were saying.
Well, just Zest knowing that something like this could go down, he sends an early scout, wants to be certain that he can be safe in whatever he's going for, making sure that MMA is not doing anything too crazy.
Really is testing MMA as multitasking here. If you've ever played a CC first in this match before as a Terran player, you know exactly how this feels. The answer to how many SVs does it take to build a CC first is more than you might think.
It's definitely not one.
No, definitely not one. Usually not two. And most of the time 3. Wow, he's actually gotten that down low again.
Yep.
3 more taps to kill that one. He sees the double barracks. And that's all he needs set out. Doesn't need to go into main base to see anything further. So he's altered his build based on the command center first. He did not mind any gas. Got his Nexus up very quickly. And if you're a pros player in this situation, you kind of get the best of both worlds. You get tech, and you get your fast expansion.
Yeah. Going for the warp gate research right away is Zest. I'm very curious to see. This is what I want to see exactly what he goes for here. He's going to get his second Nexus up. Does he go fast blink here? Does he not go for blink at all? Does he throw down the Robo Bay? We're going to have to wait and see while his gas builds up here. It seems like he's waiting a little bit to take these 2 gases. Not going to take them just right away. Going to wait a little bit. And he throws down the robotics.
Interesting choice here.
I mean, the way it worked in that last game, it was very obvious that Zest was comfortable against the style that MMA was trying to punish him with. And so, like we saw MMA do similarly to Revival, I feel like going with the same build in this kind of best-of-3 format isn't a bad choice. You know, he could have just been like, well, I'll just end you early. I feel confident in that way. But maybe he's just feeling, you know, just going to sit back.
I like how MMA plays this on the Watchtower. He's like, just going to control this no matter what. He's like, yeah, that's fine. Walk your Stalker by. Then he hides the rest of the Marines knowing that they're hidden from a Stalker. Now he can try to intercept perhaps a second Stalker or anything else he wants on the map. You know, the Stalker could have tried to do more damage, but he's not aware of how many Marines are there on the high ground, so he can't get anything done. Just really utilizing line-of-sight blockers and Watchtowers here. And does intercept the Stalker a little bit on its way back, but doing no more than about 22 points of shield damage there.
Yeah. Observer on the way for Zest. Again, just going to sit back. He's going to get a second one as well. So we're just going to see the same style here. Very safe, very laid back. MMA is going to throw down that engineering bay around the same time. Going to go for that +1 to attack. And I wouldn't even be surprised if Zest does even the exact same thing. Throw down the 2 forges. In the last game, he went for the Robotics Bay and the Twilight Council first.
I think he's going to do the same thing again here. There it is.
There it is.
this style is not really seen in Korea anymore. It's kind of like in Korea, the way this matchup is normally played is like through fear and scare tactics. You attack early on, or you show some sort of tech, like it's a flying orbital coming in. You better be ready. You better not make any mistakes. Or, sup, Twilight Council, are your bunkers up or not? Because if they're not, I'll kill you. And if they are, I'll take a fast third base. But instead, Zest is taking the more laid-back, slow, calm approach of, I'm just going to see what you're doing, and I'm going to have the right answer. Adding 5 gates, though, stops pro production and starts Blink.
I mean, he put down the 2 forges, and he has enough to make that +1/+1. There he goes.
Looks like he may just be cutting pro production to add the gates, the double upgrades, the Blink, and the third base, and then he starts probes again. Well, we'll see.
Yeah, maybe he just wants to be a little bit more careful here. He knows that MMA is not scared to go for incredibly strong pushes, and wants to be safe against that. Has the Observer in position to scout that medevac as it comes out. So he should send some units back there. Warps in 1 Zealot.
Well, these gates are done, but they're not warped in. That 1 Widow Mine could actually do a lot for him as the cannon isn't ready. Going to get a Zealot. That's all he's going to get. But a ton of Marines over here suddenly. And uh-oh, Zest, got to get your probes out of here. You got an MMA on your backside.
Yep, only 3 probes gone down though. And with the Photon Overcharge, this is going to push back those Stim Marines. And medevac going to have to get over there, heal those guys after having stimmed.
This is a pretty good situation economically for MMA right now with a probe deficit plus the mules, and he's got that third base coming up for extra mule power plus the saturation. Missing, of course, are going to be his upgrades in the longer game, but he even gets a faster second eBay, as mentioned before, and I think that MMA looking a lot stronger this game than in the previous one.
Yeah, in a pretty good position here. He's even going to set this up over at the third base, a nice little Widow Mine to block the Nexus from going down, kill that probe.
Yeah, the probe, even if it's queued to do something else after the Nexus is building, if it gets interrupted, it'll probably end up getting triggered by the Widow Mine, or the Widow Mine will get triggered by the probe and then kill it, which will further delay the Nexus.
Yeah. It seems like MMA has identified the fact that he's going for a very similar style here, and he wants to punish him earlier on. Rather than going for a stronger push after getting some upgrades himself, he wants to, you know, start being a little bit more aggressive here. And so far, it was okay a little bit earlier, but some units being caught out there by Zest with those force fields.
So ready for these drops every time. Double observers on the left side of the map. 2 of them. This Widow Mine drop likely to get very little done, especially with Blink Stalkers here. Focus is down. So close, but no cigar. And has these units easily ready to intercept those drop units. Now what MMA needs to make sure he does here is, you know, be careful and gauge. He needs to gauge when he's done the max amount of damage and when to stop dropping, because we've seen players in the past, especially in Wings of Liberty, just keep dropping until they've just wasted too many units. Once you reach this certain point, against a Pro Loss player who's aware, who has units to stop drops in all of his bases, you're not going to get any damage done, and it's not worth it to keep throwing those units away. You need to build a bigger, larger army.
Yeah. Seems like for now he's going to continue dropping. He's identified that the 2 forges are over there. So if he can get a bunch of Marauders in there as well as Marines, he could definitely try to snipe 1. And if he gets it before the +2 comes up, that could be nice. But looks like for now he's going to draw out the army over there to the east. And maybe even come here toward the front of the natural. Try to do some damage.
Really like this Ghost Academy. He's got this intuition right now. Like, you know, that was a nice catch there by Zest, but he's got this intuition like, you don't feel as Colossus heavy as before, and I'm going to have this ready just in case. There's the Templar Archives. Warp Prism is going down now. Zest is going to be trying to do some counter harassment, but he is just so on top of every unit on the map.
Yep. This is the kind of thing that maybe MMA isn't used to. A Protoss player that, you know, when a Terran is at his front door on both sides, a Protoss player is just going to be confident enough to blink forward with a group of Blink Stalkers and be like, no, I'll just snipe your medevac, and I know that you're going to be scared of this, and you're going to back away and not do any damage to me, so I'm just going to get ahead. Zest just, you know, magnificent. That's the word I'm going to use, magnificent army control in all these games that he's played.
He's asserted his majesty. He's actually been called in Korea right now the Kingslayer because of the players that he's destroyed on his way to the finals, as well as the all kill that he got on SKT. He's just been called the Kingslayer. That's what he's known as.
That's so cool if you link it to the Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Jaime Lannister here in the booth.
That's what's up. Gotta hand it to this guy. He's quite the Protoss.
Yeah.
Triple cannons going up. He's adding all sorts of extra defense.
Yeah, I like this a lot. He knows that, you know, similar to what we saw against Lenok, Rain against Lenok in Pro League, where he just added a bunch of cannons. He knows that MMA as well is going to be very aggressive, and if he has a bunch of cannons at his base, it will actually pay off. Even though it's a lot of minerals to drop down, he can feel comfortable in doing that. And now, Zest comfortable enough to move all the way over there and stop the drop even before it gets into medevac, blinking after those Marauders.
He just knows when to blink. Like, in a situation like this where you blink all your Stalkers on top of a Marauder group, you're taking the risk that there's a second group of Marauders behind them that will kill every single blink Stalker while you're on cooldown. But he's just got so much map vision and so much awareness, and he's just constantly paying attention to everything. Notice that even when he ran his Warp Prism into a huge group of Marines and Marauders, he had the faster reaction time to move over there, save the Zealots inside, and then pick up Zealots to save them. He's just so fast, he's so active on the map, and he's doing it, honestly, if you look at the APM, with about half the APM of MMA. He's just on the ball, he's watching the map, and he's looking for it. Anyway, I say he's at half the APM of MMA. Of course, they both spike up at times, but it seems to be that MMA consistently has the higher APM here.
Yeah.
We'll see how this plays out going into the later stage of this game, because MMA's army right now is designed to crush a Psystorm-based army, and he has a 30 army supply lead here. Zest needs to get back. He needs more to deal with this.
Yeah, also a lot of Vikings in the air. So if you think about that, to deal with the 4 Colossi of Zest, he's going to have a lot in the air as well to deal with it. If good storms go down on either these Ghosts or the... Oh, well, hold that thought. Decent EMPs going down. Snipes to follow up on these High Templar, and that Storm not doing much damage at all.
Wow, I think MMA is about to crush this army. We'll see. He's a bit timid here. Doesn't get the High Templar on the left side. There's that Observer coming back with all the Observers on the map. You thought he'd find this army better. Don't forget, 3-3 just finished for Zest, and these Vikings are going to tear through the last of these Colossi. There's a few Marauders left, one Ghost in the back as well. Now that the Colossi are gone, there's no more Storms. I feel like MMA could be a little bit more confident here. Once that Time Warp is gone, he is going to be able to push his way through here. The last of the Colossi fall.
Last of the Colossi fall, and more Zealots going down for free. Reinforcements for MMA coming across the map right now, and Zest doesn't have much here. He has the upgrades, but where's his army? Dark Templar doing a lot of damage, but the scan goes down. Fights with the Zealots as well as the Stalkers coming in from the side, but here are more Ghosts.
Yep, EMP goes down on those Zealots, adding just that much more fuel to the fire, and here come those Vikings. And with that play there with the EMP, I think that's going to close it out. Yeah, there are 2 Colossi about to pop, as our Observer just showed us, but does he have enough time to actually utilize those? I'm not so sure. EMP is going down here again, and it doesn't look like we have any Observers nearby. With all these Vikings and the scans, it's no question he doesn't have any left, and it looks like MMA is going to have a pretty big upset here in game number 2. GG! MMA takes out the Kingslayer in a macro game on a large map against a Protoss, no doubt.
Wow. MMA playing that very, very nicely. He took that engagement so well. That is what won him that game at the end. The EMPs with the cloak. Zest, I'm not even sure if he was ready for that. There was no Observer there as far as I know. There was no feedbacks that went down. EMPs went on a lot of the High Templar, Snipes as well. And there was no real effective Storm out of the Protoss. And so that huge Vile Ball stayed alive for so long. Colossi going down to all the Vikings as well. A very, very nice engagement there out of MMA, and that was big.
I feel like 2 key things need to be stated. MMA is constantly on top of Zest in this game, so he sees exactly what he's building. Notice in this game he made the Ghost Academy much faster, didn't use it until he needed to. MMA realized at some point after trading enough times and harassing enough, I'm going to max out first. And that means that I have the opportunity to build the better army composition that goes against what you have at the moment. Builds an army composition that's perfectly balanced between Ghosts and Vikings, gets the and with all those things together, knowing there was no Observer there, goes in there and hits Zest unawares. Even without that cloak, advantage without the observer. Even if he had an observer there, the army that MMA had was so solid.
Yeah.
Looks
very, very, very nicely played at MMA.
Looks like there was some sort of issue with the original lobby that we were making, so we're going to have to rehost that. You guys get to look at our faces, which I know if you watch Pro League, you don't get to see all too often.
Yeah. I'm having some trouble with the lights right now because I have a cold. It's like making my eyes water really badly, and I'm like dealing with some mucus issues as well, so I'm just like trying to hold on here, you know?
There are certain periods of time in career where it seems like everyone is sick except me.
Change of the seasons, man.
Yeah.
You're just immune. You're just like a robot like Zest. That's what's going on
I
here.
don't sleep very often. I basically just cast StarCraft and then read about StarCraft and then try to sleep and then just repeat the process. So maybe that's, I'm just like, I don't have time for these colds, these illnesses. Thing is, I guess like a cold is contagious, right? But I don't know how that works, man.
Your immune system is very strong. For a guy who doesn't sleep too much, I mean, I don't sleep too much as well, but I know that you don't sleep much either. And
I have a terrible diet. I ate goldfish and Taco Bell yesterday. Those are the only two things I ate.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be a day off, but it turned out I had to come into work yesterday, and then I just was tired and sat in my house and ate goldfish all day.
I didn't eat lunch with you yesterday, right? No.
No.
I ate, I had a good lunch, but for dinner I had like cheese and crackers. So definitely not helping out my health there as well.
Sometimes cheese and crackers are, actually all the time cheese and crackers are great, and sometimes acceptable as a meal.
But you know, I've told you I have the sliced cheese for my crackers. It's like the unhealthy oil cheese, so
I was going to just let it go. I was going to not tell anybody that you use this cheese. You were like, I cheese and crackers. I'm like, well, everyone's going to think because he likes his fine food.
No,
so he's just an appreciation for the hors d'oeuvres, you know, in his house,
The hors
drinking the
d'oeuvres.
wine, you know, and the cheese and the crackers. And you just tell everyone to use sliced cheese on your crackers.
yeah, I got that.
You just admitted that on live broadcast.
I got the disgusting orange, I guess you would call it American cheese, but they have that here in Korea as well. It's not very healthy.
There was a brand called like Slica, I think, in America.
Slica.
Something like that, like Slica cheese.
Do they have that down like in Georgia or something?
I don't know.
I've never
The thing
heard
is,
that
like,
before. Like, sounds like a ninja name or something, like Slica.
When I was a kid, I thought it was just like the accent of like, oh, we got a slice of cheese, you know. But
a
like,
slice? Oh, okay.
A slice of cheese, but then later I think it was actually just the brand name, like
Slica.
How do I spell this? S-L. I'm like S-L-I-C-A, yeah, Slica. Again, I'm not quite sure what has happened to us here, but the lobby
Looks like we're getting back into the lobby. Yeah.
Anyways, I want you guys to take this moment. Don't go back to playing your cell phone games, but what you could do is tweet at us. He's Brendan Valdez, and I'm Proxy Wolf. What your favorite type of cheese is. And that can be like cheddar cheese to Gouda cheese, or in StarCraft, what your favorite cheese build is.
Yeah, anything at all.
That's your homework. We're going to this game, finally, Game 3. Here in our winners match, one of these two players will advance to the round of 4. The other one is going to the consolation match. This time it's Zest